The Davison community raised their fists to show support for a nationwide movement, and one individual is making sure to spread his message of love to every passing car. Plus, the major effects felt by one small local business due to COVID-19. DTV News starts right now. Two weeks ago, George Floyd, a 46-year-old black man, was killed in Minneapolis, Minnesota, after an officer knelt on his neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds, while Floyd was in handcuffs. Since then, anti-racist protests have spread throughout the world. Good afternoon, Davison. I'm Jillian Tate. The protests were first aimed at calling for the arrest of Officer Derek Chauvin, as well as the 3 officers that aided him, and now have formed into a call for the end of police brutality, racism, and inequality. These ideals have even sparked many from Davison and surrounding areas to get out and make sure their voices are heard. The protest on June 7th was organized by Davison High School seniors Treza Haydu and Elise Willingham. People gathered to hear speeches from the organizers, as well as State Rep Cheryl Kennedy and Little Miss Flint, Amariana Copany. Afterwards, they marched down M15 and back up Main Street before gathering for a moment of silence for those who lost their lives to police brutality.
I've been raised to know the great works of the words of Dr. Martin Luther King.
One of the things that inspired me was seeing protests happen all around the world, and I knew that our community needed to be educated and we needed to amplify the black voices in our community to help make a difference. Each little community can make a difference if they just try.
And all African Americans can jog without fear, can play with a toy without fear, can sit in their homes without fear, and can just simply live their lives without fear.
We must do this for all of the black young men and women who are just living their lives and have a right to do so without fear.
It brings love in my heart to know that all these people care, to show that they're here for us.
At what point is the color of my skin seen as a what?
We're being killed for just being us, the color of our skin. It's just not right.
You can do to make a change in the world, and I encourage you to think big.
I shouldn't be afraid that my dad, my uncles, my little brother could be next. I shouldn't have to worry that I could be next.
Many people all over are doing whatever they can to help spread the message during the Black Lives Matter movement. One Davison man is trying to spread a message of love and has been hard to miss when coming through town, but his way of protesting is a bit different than some. Every day, rain or shine, on the corner of Lapeer and State stands a lone protester working against injustice. He makes no fuss, no riots, and just bows in appreciation. His name is Grant Gooch. His reason why, though, is a different one.
In the beginning, it was, I'm gonna go do something. And I just got up and said, I just want to spread love anywhere I go, and I don't want to spread any hate.
But this is not something you'd expect from a younger Grant.
I had a lot of hate in my heart, and it wasn't towards a specific, thing. It was just against the world. I was just mad at myself more than anything else. And I had some moments where, it made me realize that I gotta stop being so hateful because I hate myself. I gotta start loving others and start loving myself more than anything else.
Recently in America, protesters have been all over the country fighting against the racial injustice with law enforcement. While many protests have been peaceful, some have taken a dark turn for the worst. Cities have been devastated and protesters have been injured. However, many protests have been peaceful and successful, such as the one in Davison. Grant's approach has been different. He stands as an individual, although he is not alone. All passing cars can see his sign and many honk in support. For 3 weeks, Grant has continued to work hard for the whole Black Lives Matter movement and will continue to do so until he sees a change.
What I want the community to know is that you should not be judging somebody based off what they look like, economic status, and especially something that they were born with. If someone was born with this color of their skin, you should not be judging them based off purely off the color of their skin. See, hey, this is happening, in smaller areas too, not just the big cities and the big towns. This is happening in other places than just what, you'll see on the national news.
Emily Fronte and Trevor Cherney, DTV News.
During the statewide shutdown due to the COVID-19 pandemic, many local business owners were left at a loss, unsure of how this would affect them in the long run. Jennifer McVannell is the owner of Studio FX Salon, and she is just one example of a business learning how to adapt during the virus. As some businesses are reopening, many others are still shut down. After 21 years of doing hair, Jennifer McVannell found herself in this very situation.
And it was trying to just not panic, because if I panicked, then everybody panics.
Jen took over ownership of Studio FX Salon in Grand Blanc, Michigan on March 1st.
It was kind of one of those things that if I don't take the chance now, then I may never take the chance.
3 weeks later, she was forced to close due to the coronavirus pandemic. This also affected two stylists who rented the booth from her that were worried about what the future would hold.
I was trying to be that, remain calm. Like, it's not just you. You are not going to be the only one that can't pay your bills.
When Jen originally took this opportunity, she thought it would be challenging, but nobody could have predicted this type of challenge.
What makes it feel better is that it's not just me. It's not because I'm being lazy and I don't want to go to work today. It's because the government says no.
Many business owners are concerned about being able to survive after the stay-at-home order is lifted.
As long as we get to go back to work in May, I feel like everything will be just fine.
Jen believes that it might be hard to find clients after the stay-at-home order is lifted, or that they will have an overwhelming amount of new customers.
Made no money for the last 4 weeks. So we want to just make our money so we can catch up with all of our stuff.
One thing that is apparent in all the chaos is the effect this will have on every business. Many will have to try to adjust to a new normal.
Some of the big worries are just basically how we schedule our appointments. Sometimes we schedule like a color and then have somebody in the processing time. And we might have some stylists I've seen have 3-4 clients at the same time.
As social distancing continues into the future, appointments will have to be spread out. Along with this comes proper safety measures such as disinfection techniques.
Got rid of magazines because you can't really sanitize magazines. I got to find more hand sanitizers to make sure there's bottles of sanitizer everywhere.
The road ahead is long and hard for these local business owners, but something we can do as a community to help is to support them.
If we make it through this, I know then I can make it through anything.
Over the past few weeks, Governor Gretchen Whitmer has started rolling back some restrictions. Many summer camps have been given the go-ahead, restaurants are allowed to be open to a certain capacity, and sports are once again able to start practicing. Starting today, you can finally take back your cans to the bottle returns, book an appointment with your hair and nail salons, and even head to the movie theaters and gyms. We will keep you up to date on more openings and lifted restrictions as they happen on our social media pages. Seniors, while graduating is going to be very different this year, the time has arrived. Make sure you sign up for one of these 3 sessions. Sunday, June 28th at 11 or later that day at 2, or Monday, June 29th at 7. Congratulations, graduates, and we wish you the best. Still ahead in sports, Kate Lawrence gives you the latest updates on your favorite sports teams and how they're moving forward.
5:30 and then some. Davidson is going for the upset.
For that strong arm.
Major League Sports are planning to return. Welcome back, Davison. I'm Kate Lawrence. In the NBA, there's a tentative resume date of July 31st with 22 teams playing. MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred guaranteed June 9th that there will be a baseball season this year. As of right now, the NFL will start its season on September 9th. There is no word yet from the NHL. I know a lot of us are yearning to watch live sports and cheer on our favorite teams. Hopefully we can do that again soon. The MLB draft took place June 10th and 11th. After a 25-55 season, the Tigers had the first overall pick, and they used it well, selecting Arizona State slugger Spencer Torkelson. The right-handed third baseman hit 54 home runs in 127 career games with a batting average of .337. The Tigers also took catcher Dylan Dingler from Ohio State in the second round, left fielder Daniel Cabrera from LSU in the competition round B, shortstop Trey Cruz from Rice University in the third round, third baseman Gage Workman from Arizona State in the fourth round, and third baseman Colt Keith from Biloxi High School in Mississippi in the final round. Congrats to everyone who was drafted. Go Tigers! With summer training rolling around for fall sports, COVID-19 will still have a big part in how they'll run. Multiple safety measures have been put into place to prevent the spread of it. Soccer coach Rob Knuckles talked to DTV on what it'll look like and how it'll affect.
To start, we're going to have to really focus on staying safe and social distancing. There's some guidelines that are out there. Every player is going to have to take a survey, and then we as coaches will get the results of the surveys. We're going to have, and you have to fill that out in order to train. We're going to have hand sanitizers on site. We're going to have a spray bottle so that we can disinfect the soccer balls when we're using that. We're going to take people's temperatures before they are allowed to train as well. And we're going to have to do that every single time until these bans are lifted. When we do train, we're going to do small-sided activities. We're going to try to keep those groups together each practice, each day, so that if there is somebody who tests positive, I guess we can limit the amount of exposure thing. If you're not feeling well, don't show up. If you're not sure, just stay home.
And how are you feeling about the upcoming season just as a whole?
I feel pretty confident, to be honest with you. I really do. I think we're going to play. We've got a full schedule already. Our schedule's complete. We're in place. We're ready to go. I mean, they're playing overseas in Germany right now without fans, of course. I think we're going to be good to go for soccer. We don't have, I think we'll be able to social distance with the parents that do come and watch their kids play pretty easily. I think the kids on the field should be good to go. I feel good about it. I feel confident. It was real tough for the spring with the girls. I mean, for the girls, it was terrible. We had just made our selections. We were excited. We were ready to go. This was definitely going to be the strongest group that I've had in my tenure here at Davison. I mean, we really felt like we were primed to make some noise locally and, win the Saginaw Valley, win district. I mean, all of those things were definitely within reach. And so I feel real bad for the girls. That's been really tough for them. As far as the boys' season goes, I mean, we had plenty of time in front of us, to worry about it. And as things have evolved, I'm more and more confident that we're going to be able to have a good season and play.
Good luck to all of our athletes that will be training this summer. Davison is getting a new football field. Here is a sketch of what the new and improved field will look like. Along with this field, there will be a brand new polytan track and upgrades made to all track facilities. This project should hopefully be done by 2021. Emily?
With so much happening lately, it can be hard to keep up to date on everything going on in our community. Head over to our website, dtvnews.org, to get the lowdown on all things news, sports, and student life. You can find the latest information on the COVID-19 pandemic under the Coronavirus Information tab.
You can also follow us on our social media pages for quick on-the-go updates. Check out our Instagram and Twitter at DTV_official, and for Facebook and YouTube, just search DTV News.
For this week's DTV Choose, we want to know, did you like the online schooling that we've been doing, or do you prefer to be in a classroom with a teacher? Incoming senior Allison Gherkin let us know how she's feeling about this issue in particular.
I am a kid who gets sick a lot, personally, but I'm not really scared of it. I'm just more we do need to be cautious, but I don't think we need to continue doing online schooling because I'm kind of sick of that. I want to be in a classroom. Probably wear masks and hand sanitize all the time, but I don't think it needs to be this crazy thing, even though it is serious. I understand that. I want to know what their plan is and how they are doing things, because for me personally, I think it's going to be really difficult because of the busing situations and stuff like that. I think there's going to be a lot of things they're going to have to do differently, like the whole lunches situations and how they have to do desks, because we're still going to be dealing with the coronavirus.
What are the things you and your friends have been talking about when you sit there thinking about going back to school?
Most of us we really just want to be back in the classroom. We want to be like hands-on learning with our teachers. We want just for everything to go back to normal, like as normal as it can be, because online learning is really stressful, especially for people who cannot learn under those learning styles. So we mostly just talk about wanting to go back and wanting everything to normalize.
Let us know how you feel by voting in this week's DTV Choose poll over on our Twitter page. 2020 sure has been a roller coaster. So much has happened, we are only halfway through. It's important during this time to stay informed on the world around you, but what's even more important is to take care of yourself. Stay safe, healthy, and happy, and we'll see you next time. Thank you for continuing to support us. We can't wait to bring you the news from DTV Studios. Have a great day and an even better summer, Davison.